All right, so I've had my Razer Tartarus V2 for a couple days now, and I'm loving it. Um, my hand fits on it pretty damn well. Nice, you know, ergonomic, feels good. Um, and I would definitely recommend it to anyone that is looking to up their gaming and just try out something new. At first, it seems like, oh, it's gonna be very hard to get used to, but if you are a PC gamer already, the layout configuration of the buttons is already pretty similar to what you would have on a keyboard. Um, these four buttons right here are your WASD, and then you got 1 through 5. You got like your E, your Q, R, Shift, Tab, everything like that. So the majority of the buttons that you use in video games is right here on this controller, and then you have some extras that you can configure in game if you need to add to your layout, and then you can also just always configure it differently based on what you need. I would also recommend this to people who are not used to computer gaming, but now they have a computer and they're used to the analog because you obviously have this analog stick, and I think that it is very nice. Um, for some games, I don't think that it would be the best option because like the games I'm thinking of, um, Warframe, um, or Battlefield. Like Warframe and then Battlefield 2042 are two of the games that I don't feel like it would be as functional as you would assume that it would, because if you're using your analog stick as your main movement, your space button is right here, and it just doesn't seem, how are you going to be moving and then also trying to jump at the same time? Like in Warframe, I'm constantly jumping, I'm constantly, doing all types of different stuff like that. So I just don't think it's as functional for certain type of games, but it definitely does have its um, niche games that it will work in, like Squad, or any other type of game where you're not constantly trying to jump around, jump, like Call of Duty players. It's not going to be good for them, and so on and so forth. The main thing I don't like is there is not a left control button, which is, I'm very used to using control as a PC player for crouch, um, like a toggle crouch. It doesn't have that. It does have a C button, but it's right underneath the S key, and it's just not, you know, what I'm used to, because on a conventional keyboard, I can press my C button. Well, I usually don't use my C button. I use my control button, which I can hit with my pinky. Um, but if I were to use my C, I could slide my thumb up off my space bar and press my C. So that's my only gripe so far, with this device. Other than that, I think it is very nice, and it will help me step up my um, gaming capabilities and also save my wrist. So that's very nice. I love it.
So I'm gonna be real. I love this thing. I had the black version and I learned how to use it pretty quickly. I am personally somebody who is disabled. I only have my left hand to really work with when gaming, and I use a trackball mouse for my right hand for aiming and camera and things like that. And so when I started using this one, I noticed that there were so many different ways for me to use just these keypad buttons based on weight or how far down I press the key. So I have some keys that are doubled, which makes it easier for me to play like shooters, or for me to be able to play games that require you to maybe utilize two different, like whether it be a hold down or whether it be just a quick tap kind of thing. It gives me that capability to do that much easier and quicker. I have not had any issues with the joystick ever, even on my old one. My old one I had for 3 or 4 years before I bought this one. And I bought this one in a used condition, and it was essentially brand new. So definitely would recommend copping one of the used versions.
What's up, hardcore gamers? We have an awesome product here for you today. The Tartarus by Razer. This is hands down my favorite peripheral in my arsenal. Whether I'm playing an MMORPG, real-time strategy, or even a first-person shooter, this is my go-to. This makes me absolutely better at every game I play. With the awesome wrist support, you can play for hours. Don't have to worry about carpal tunnel. It's got great keys with haptic feedback, mechanical. You can map any macro you want to these keys any way you want. When you hit that key, you're going to know you got that kill shot off. The RGB blends in seamlessly with your headset, your mouse, your keyboard. It looks great. Razer Chroma is absolutely flawless. I 100% recommend the Razer Tartarus. Pick one up today.
Huge fan of the Razer Tartarus. Obviously not a huge fan of dusting, but every one of these guys is reprogrammable. Throw a macro on it, do what you need to do, get your gaming heights. I love it. I love it instead of using a keyboard. And coupled with a good gaming mouse, you're good to go.